I walk the streets with my swagger on, supernatural, facing a million opponents, and my role is to act alone. Lights, camera when the action's on. Where I roam is a battle zone, a vigilante in the catacombs. But I rock with a hot shot like a clock when it's cocked and popped and the lead is gone. People say that my head is gone, but it's them same people with need of my help when I'm heading home in life. They say that everybody got a purpose, so I roam the city streets like faulty cellular service. The hot shot, sharpshooter, superhero, destined to shine like light through the dark and evil. I fight for what's right in the hearts of people and try to open your eyes, cause it's hard to see truth. You ever feel like everybody's the same, but you different? That's when you know you're here to make a difference. Hot shot, you got a choice to make, stand up or stand down. Fight or flight, get up, bang out, the world's waiting, can't wait to see what you about. It's showtime, act now. Hot shot, you got a choice to make, stand up or stand down. Fight or flight, get up and bang out, the world's waiting, can't wait to see what you about. It's showtime, act now. Hot shot.
Gravita. When you need me, all you gotta do is holler. Not for real, I'ma hear you when you holler. I'll be right there in my cape, FSK below my collar. Oh, trouble, want some trouble? Well then I'm double, let's get it poppin'. I got some issues I've been dealing with, about to lose my scholarships. Friends, family, loved ones, so you know inside I'm sick. You may think you're tough, but you don't know what you're about to get. I let it build up, then feed you all of it. No apologies, this may hurt a bit. No, this will hurt a lot. What goes up will surely drop. You thought you were doing it big until it all flopped. Morning, noon, and night, my calling never stops. Right back to my homework, catching up on my essays. Trying to stop my younger brother from shooting out with them essays. But enough about my Saturday, it's all in the day's work. All in my day's work. I told y'all, I do work, here I come.
Here comes a new challenger!
What's up, everybody? How you doing? I am Mike Watson, and we are here for Saturday afternoon episode of the show I like to call Chat and Draw. Yeah, I'm excited. So we got another awesome book, another awesome guest. But let's go ahead and get all the pleasantries out the way. I am the publisher of Freestyle Comics, lead artist and creative, host of this show, Chat and Draw, and the most enthusiastic person in comics. You know, I just realized today that I have not been saying that because I've been I've been sick and trying to recover, and my lungs have been healing. So I haven't had that enthusiasm that I normally have on the show, but that changes today. All right, changes today. I got what 2 more pages to knock out on Hot Shot 11. I'll be doing that today, and then we're about what $400 or $500 away from our goal. We'll be hitting that today, and then I get my label printer that Lori Foster helped me find for the Kickstarter to deliver the Hot Shot stuff. I'll be opening that today. I'm doing a lot of stuff today. If you haven't caught on to the theme, look, I'm ecstatic. I'm making comic books. I'm having a good time. We're mingling. We're drawing. We're producing stuff. It's been like, and we're actually releasing. It's just been so long since we actually have attempted the scale that we're trying to attempt right now with Freestyle Comics. And it makes me very, very happy that we're doing these things and we're in a position to do these things. And it is like literally everything that we've done up to this moment has taught us, trained us, and showed us how to, to do what we're doing right now. So super ecstatic. Catching you up on everything right now. We did announce yesterday on the Emerald Quest Kickstarter, which you can get at, we're going to throw it in the chats, www.fskgo.com. That's how you can get to the EQ Kickstarter. If you want Hot Shot 11, which drops in December, you can pre-order it on this Kickstarter. We have the variant covers, one by Sean Hill, one by Ramita Jones, one by me, and one by the series artist James Gage. Now see, I got a little carried away. All that excitement, all that heavy breathing, life's coming back at me telling me to calm my little ass down. So I'm going to tone it down some. But check out that Kickstarter. You can pre-order Hot Shot 11 on there right now. That was the great idea of Danny Cooper, the editor-in-chief. And I want to shout out Danny Cooper. He's hilarious. And I understand why I work with him and why he's my brother. That boy is so dumb in the best ways. Shout out Danny Cooper. Veronica Smith, shout out to you too, because you are killing it right now on the colors. And Lori Foster, they have just the team has just been doing a great job in the administration office for FSK, and I appreciate them a ton. All right, so what else do we got? Hot Shot Kickstarter, like I said, we got one of those nice little label makers that prints the labels with heat. I didn't even know that was a thing, but you start working with Lori Foster, and she opens up the whole world for you as far as this indie game is concerned. So it should be coming today. Once I do that, open that up, crack that sumbitch open, we're going to print off everything, and that'll help me get all the books in order with the listing and stuff. Now, I'll have all the packages ready for shipping. The only thing we are waiting for now is the trades, Volume 1 and Volume 2, which are at the binary. And as soon as that's done, I'm flying, not walking, not driving, not riding, but flying to go get these books immediately and put them in your packages and ship them off. That's it for Kickstarter for us. That's it for the Hot Shot Kickstarter update. But I also have Friends of the Family that I want you guys to check out. All right? So Spider Squirrel #2, which is an official comic book for FSK. That's a new title of ours. It looks like they just got some dollars. They just got some dollars. $5,899 towards their goal of $6,500. Please go check out Spider Squirrel #2 because it's awesome and it is part of the Freestyle Comics family. We're excited. Next up, what I feel like is a sister studio to us. Unlike the Hero Studios, they come out with constant, incredible content all the time and unique content. They're well above their goal, but more money does not hurt. Again, we're not Marvel, we're not DC. We're people in our basements and our living rooms and our bedrooms and all that stuff making comic books. So we don't have the big machine to support us. All we have is you. And finally, Bloom. I'm a big fan of Ted Sakura. Big fan of him. Lots of good books. This is the final chapter of the origin of Regina, and he's only got a couple hours left. Well, I'm sorry. He's got like 30 hours left on that Kickstarter, so please go over there and go check that out as well. So that's what's going on in Kickstarter news. FSK Day is happening December 3rd. We're dropping Hot Shot 11 on FSK Day. We're going to have a lot of people from the FSK team there. We're going to have food trucks there. We're going to have music. We're going to have panels. It's going to be big. You want to be there for it. Columbus, Ohio, December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The big day is going to be December 4th. So that's the day that you guys really want to show up for it. You can come hang out with us on the 3rd. We're doing a little pre-party or whatnot. All right, did I get all the pleasantries out the way? Have I covered all of my bases? I believe I am. Now, it's time to bring out my magnificent guest, super skilled, super talented artist. Look, before I bring him out, I want to tell you how much of a jerk he is. All right. So like he has this comic strip, this beautiful comic strip, man. And I mean, when I say beautiful, it is on the level of Calvin and Hobbes comic strip. Like I love this comic strip so much, and I've been following it. I follow it from week to week, episode to episode, and he was ending it, and he ended it with like this freaking 12-panel page of him watching his daughter grow up and graduate. And it gave me all the feels. Oh my goodness. I told you I wear my feelings on these sleeves when it comes to these stories and stuff like this. And I punched him in his arm when I saw him because I was like, you made me feel things. And that's not cool. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring up my guest in the same way that we bring up everybody else on this Chat and Draw show.
Here comes a new challenger.
Chill. I think it's time for me to save the day.
What's up, Dan?
What's up, Watson? How are you?
I am fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good. What an intro. That felt good.
Hey, I'm a big fan and I respect you. And we're going to start it off right. There's the link to Touching Evil, the final volume, the complete trilogy. Now, Dan works on several things. Dan, he's a beast, and he's part of the reason why I draw digitally today as well. But Dan, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and why we're here today.
Yeah, my name's Dan Dougherty. This is my second time on the show, right?
Yep.
I say second, I think. I'm a writer and illustrator of comics and kids books. The ones probably most known for is Beardo comic strip series that Mike was talking about, where I made everybody cry. Floppy Cop, which I co-created with Seth the Moose, which hopefully made everybody laugh. Touching Evil, which is what I'll be talking about today, which is a thriller, which is supposed to be scaring the hell out of everybody. And a bunch of kids books that I do with my friend and collaborator, DJ Corchin. We've done two that have been kind of blowing up on the book charts lately. Do You Speak Fish and 1,000 Gnomes. So yeah, that's me. And then what I'm here to talk about today is the Kickstarter for Touching Evil Volume 3, the finale to the trilogy that I started doing 8 years ago.
That's incredible. And what I'm doing right now, because I do like to save this for the actual show, is I pledge live MFers. So I do this because I don't want you guys just to think I'm telling you to do something just to do it. I'm never going to tell you to do something that I myself am not going to do. And I knew I was going to pledge on this Kickstarter, but I was just saving it for the show. Look, it's happening right now. I'm getting the hardcover because they're evil. I love that. And boom, boom, boom. Pledging right there.
I feel so good.
Feels so good.
I wish I could watch every pledge. This is great.
Dan thanked me. The little profile Dan thanked me for my pledge. And there we go. We just made that happen. All right. Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of Floppy Cop. I got that. Check that out. I love it. I love Beardo. So this is one adventure I've not been on with you. And it's great timing that you're collecting all of it together in one trade. So now I can just binge it all at one time.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's kind of the culmination of a lot of years and a lot of issues. It's actually the longest running series that was ended up being picked up by Source Point Press. When I first started doing it, it was definitely just an indie book. Still kind of feels like an indie book given the nature of Source Point, where they kind of pick up and coming kind of stuff. But yeah, it's 21 issues. This book collects the last 7 of them, so you're getting the big finale.
Awesome. What's the pitch? What's the elevator pitch for this series? And how much are you willing to tell us to talk about this?
Oh, I'll tell you. Well, there's a lot that I will tell you. There's just one thing I won't, because I don't want to spoil the ending. So what I will say is that the basic pitch is it's a supernatural thriller. about a woman who's given a curse. She can kill anyone she touches, but only if they're evil. And she has no idea who's evil unless she actually touches them. So this could be, you know, complete complete enemy, someone who's obviously evil. But it could also be like people close to her, people she cares about, people she loves. And so she's put in this position of being like a very reluctant hero that is kind of forced into situations that test this curse. When she first gets it in volume 1, I mean, she's definitely not ready for it. And the stuff that happens in there is just insane. And then it just keeps getting crazier from there. Like I never really, once I get like the momentum going on the series, like it never really lets off the gas the entire time. Like she's basically this instrument of death that's kind of going through, you know, different people around her and sort of testing what kind of person they are. So it's really fun. If you really are into like suspense and horror, you would love it.
I'm not, but
well, that's the end of the interview. See you later.
but that's because I'm more of a punk, so I don't play the video games or watch the movies or anything like that. But a comic book I can handle.
Good. Yeah, it's definitely. I think one of the things I'm most proud of about it is the way the story is told. The way, you know, the fact that I've been able to do this for the amount of time that I needed to in order to actually tell the story was really just basically because of my fans, right? I mean, it's a 21 issue series. Not too many creator-owned series get to live that long. And to be honest, it's not that I'm necessarily ending Touching Evil, it's just that I'm ending this particular character's story.
Right.
But it's only been through the success that I've gotten based on the fans that I've got. And I mean, I'm not someone who's known for horror or for you know, stuff that's like in this vein. So people took a chance on this. Basically, they were like, okay, I love his stuff, or I like his stuff, or I've heard of his stuff. Oh, thanks, Brad. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, like I've got people who like me for more of the comedic stuff, or they know me from illustrating a kid's book or something, and then they're like, wait, what is this now? Like you're doing a thriller? This is crazy. But I mean, I'm pretty proud of the fact that once people read it, they always keep reading it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is another. The book that you're pledging to now is the finale. So in the Kickstarter, you can actually get all 3 if you're interested. But the finale is pretty insane because one of the main characters dies at the end of volume 2. And I won't say who, but it's a big one, and it leaves a ripple effect in volume 3 that really talks about what is revenge and what is justice. So it's like, how far do you go before something goes past being revenge and just ends up being straight up awful, you know? So I just can't tell you who dies though. That's the thing. Like, but it's a big one.
That's awesome. Do you play video games?
Not anymore. I mean, my nerddom kind of begins and ends in comics these days. Like that's where I put a lot of my energy into. But you do, right? You play a lot of the games, right?
Yeah. Just the idea and concept of what you're talking about. So it's gotten me excited because I played a game called The Last of Us 2, and it deals with that. Not from the perspective that you're talking about, like how far is too far, but more so is that the person that you're seeking revenge on, what's their story? Like, they have a side to the story too, and they did that very well in making you no longer hate that person, but understand where they're coming from. I still killed them, but but you know, I definitely respected where their mind was. But that's absolutely great, man. I love that type of stuff very much so. So I'm definitely, super excited about reading this and wanting to know. Is there a little bit more you can tell us about the character?
Yeah. So what makes her interesting, in my opinion, is that she is a very normal person. Otherwise, I didn't give this to somebody who was already out there, like like a vigilante or like a police officer or somebody who's in the position to want justice or enforce things like that. She is a single mom and a defense attorney. She's surrounded by people who could potentially be good or bad, but her job is not really to be judge, jury, and executioner. Her job is to essentially defend criminals,
Okay.
or defend people who are accused of a crime. At least you never know what if they're guilty or not. But what happens, from the moment she gets the curse, which at first she doesn't even believe is real. I mean, who would believe that they're cursed with this insane power to kill evil with their hands?
Right.
What she what her role is just she's just a single mom. She's just someone who's keeping their head down and working and kind of missing out on life almost because she's just so busy providing. And then all of a sudden it's almost like this curse is like a wake-up call to her whole life, because she has to now actually be there for her son and protect him, because the curse attracts a lot of bad attention towards her. And without giving too much away, her son becomes like an integral part of the story. Partly because she's not even sure if she should even like give this kid a hug. He's not exactly the nicest kid. He's kind of
shoot, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's 16 and he's definitely like a troubled teen, constantly getting in trouble at school and at home, and that's basically anywhere he goes, he's just not making good choices. So when she gets this curse and she realizes that it's actually working, there's a pretty pivotal scene in the first story where she's like, she's kind of traumatized and her son wants to give her a hug, and she has to go like, let me put these gloves on first, so that she doesn't potentially kill him.
Right.
The other thing that's fun about this thing, at least from a writing standpoint, it's really not fun for her, but what's fun to play with, the curse has some rules. So while you have it, you can't die, because the curse can't die. So you're basically like unkillable.
Okay.
She can get shot, stabbed, chopped up, whatever, and her body will mend itself, and she will not die, no matter how fatal the injury would be. But the other thing that's crazy about it is that anyone she kills, she can hear their voice in the afterlife. They're sitting in like a limbo of sorts, just being collected by her as she kills more and more people. Yeah, so there's like multiple storylines happening. Like she kills somebody, and then we get to see them in this, what I call the void. It's like just an empty place where these souls are like deposited, along with like a little tiny piece of whatever was around them when they died. So like someone will die and they'll be at their desk, and so like it'll be them sitting next to their desk, but nothing else is around them. And they all are just sitting there, kind of figuring out that they're dead, for one. And then as it dawns on them and react differently, like some of them, a lot of them act violently when they get in there, because a lot of their first gut reactions to anything is violence. But on a long enough timeline, they start wondering, like, why am I here? Like, what's next? Like, they basically are questioning the afterlife. Mm-hmm. So it gets really trippy and fun, and it really, again, it questions the nature of like, what makes somebody evil? Like, where's that point where it's like, okay, this person has gone past the line, their character is evil, and they are worthy of being killed by this curse.
This is pretty deep, Dan.
I know, man. It's not Floppy Cop.
Oh no,
it's no Floppy Cop. No, so, but it's really fun to play with as a writer. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, so how do you come to the decision to make these choices that you've made in here? Like, she can't touch her son because the son is a bit of a jerk.
Well, I mean, she has to wonder if he's, if he's worthy of the curse. I mean, she has to wonder that about a lot of people. She's got a lot of people in her life that she cares about. She doesn't want to kill anybody, to be honest with you. Like she's not a killer kind of person. But what's interesting about this curse too is that it sort of is a magnet for trouble. Like basically bad people kind of gravitate towards her, feeding off the energy of it in a way. And it puts her in a position to test the curse sometimes. Like sometimes she's got to, she's one of the first moments she gets stuck in is, without giving too much away, like first time she uses the curse, it's she's talking to one of her clients who she knew was guilty. She was like, I know this guy did it, but I defended him anyway because it was my job. And he's basically thanking her for that, and he goes to shake her hand, and then he just drops dead. And unfortunately for her, when he drops dead, the people around in the room, they go, "What did you do to him?" And they take action on her right away. Like she's in a heap of trouble the first time she uses it. So she ends up like shot several times, and basically you would think that she was dead, but like I said, this curse doesn't let the person that's carrying it die because it needs to live. So the people who kill her, quote unquote kill her, end up being in for a rude awakening when they go to bury her. And it just keeps, I mean, from there, it's like, she can never just be a normal person again. She's going to be this hero of the story. And also,
whether she wants to or not.
Right. Yeah. She gets dragged into it, and then she has to navigate it. What's crazy for her too is that, when you have people that you care about, those are liabilities for somebody who is trying to be leveraged, so she's there. The curse had existed in a prisoner, an inmate in a prison that she went to. So that person had been living with the curse for like decades, and the prison itself was using the curse to kill inmates.
Really?
Yeah, it was a way for the warden to thin out the herd or punish people for getting out of line without actually getting in trouble for it. Because like who would call it a murder? I mean, they don't look like anything happened that was foul play. They just dropped dead. So this warden was using it for his own purposes for like decades, and then all of a sudden it's gone. Well, he wants to get that thing back. So him and other people that are in the know as to what the curse was and what they were using it for are now hunting, trying to figure out who took it and where they can get them and what they can leverage against them to bring them over to their side. So yeah, it's pretty crazy.
This sounds like a really good TV show.
That's what everybody says, and I love that, and I want that to be true.
Like, do you have a pitch Bible for this?
Yeah, actually, I am working on something as we speak. So I've got some collaborators on it. Yeah.
I'm also trying to draw with my finger a little bit because I got a new case for my iPad, and I failed to realize that it doesn't charge my pen in the case. So I'm trying to let my pen charge up for a minute here. But this sounds like an amazing potential TV series here. So I didn't know if I missed it or not. Now, because she has the curse, is that why she lost the finger, or she just doesn't have a finger?
That's not why she lost the finger.
Okay.
That happens in the course of the series. I won't tell you because it's fun to see how it plays out. But what's crazy about it is like it's not really. It's just an inconvenience at this point for her, right? Because it's not going to kill her to lose a finger. And to be honest, like if she were to get the finger back, it would reattach because that's just how that's just how her body is. Like, if you cut her head off and you put it back on, it would reattach. That's how like intense this curse's power is.
Dude, I'm so mad. I'm so late to the train on this right now. This sounds amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I love it. And like I said, I've been able to actually fully explore the story I wanted to. It took me some years, but I got 21 issues into this, which I'm really proud of. Like it's not easy to do, as I'm sure you know, to self-produce and make your own comics and basically kind of be your own boss on it. It's awesome, but it's a lot of work. So it's like getting to this point where I'm at the end and seeing it through the way I wanted to feels really good.
Oh man, okay, because now you got me going back through here looking. Motherfucker, I need these other 2 volumes now.
I'm making you up your pledge.
Shit.
Oh, I see John Westhoff's up here. Hey,
Huh?
John. I see.
I
just saw John. Yeah, John popped up in the comments.
Yeah, you're making me rethink some things now. This is incredible. And then I especially remember you were drawing a scene from this when I first asked you about the iPad and you doing your work.
Yeah.
And we were in a hotel together in Chicago, and you were working on that, and it was like putting the whole thing together. I'm like, you're drawing the comic on that, and you started showing me and everything. And I remember it was a specific scene out of this.
Yeah. No, it was that was really fun that I got to pop your iPad shirt.
Yeah, man. I mean, I super love this thing. So like right now, like I said, like while my pencil is charging, I'm kind of just drawing with my hand right now to get this laid out. But what made you venture into the digital realm for this?
To be honest, it started off because of all those conventions we were going to. I mean, you and me at that time, I think you still probably do more shows than me, right? Like you had a lot of shows.
Yeah, I think we do about the same amount now.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So yeah, for me, it's like, with my kids starting to be of a decent age where they're not just a little baby in a crib. It's like, I got to pick my battles on which shows to go to. But
yeah,
at the time, I was probably doing like 20 something shows a year. It was like all those Wizard shows, and then any Repop shows I could get into, and then a lot of local shows. And pretty soon it was like, it was really tough to bring all my stuff out for doing sequential art every time I went on the road. You got to bring your Bristol, all your pencils and inks. Spilling ink is not fun. All that stuff was just like, man, this is tough. So like I did the first 8 issues traditionally, and then on issue 9 I ventured into the iPad world, and I never really looked back. I basically did, would that be 11 issues digitally, and I say 11 and not 12 because I'm going to do the final issue traditionally, because there's a tier in the Kickstarter where you can get an original page of the final issue.
Oh, wow.
So for anyone who's a collector of original pages of comic art, that's a very limited thing, because I literally haven't done it traditionally in 11 issues. So it'll be a kind of a limited offering. There's already been people scooping that one up.
So when did you go on the final? What number is the final issue?
21.
21.
The final. Yeah.
So this one, and what? I'm sorry if I missed that. Being blown away by the story you're telling here. What is this last trilogy? How far does that go up to?
21. Yeah. So it's issues 15 through 21. Every hardcover collects 7 issues of the series. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my arcs are bigger than I think a typical comic arc. I usually think of comic story arcs as like maybe like 4 or 5 issues.
Uh-huh.
and I was doing 7 just because, I mean, I had a lot of story to tell. And to be honest, like what's fun is that people binge these books out, and that's like one of my favorite accomplishments is like if I see somebody at a con on Friday and they buy volume 1, usually by Saturday or Sunday they come back and get volume 2, and I'm like, that means you read the thing already. And they're like, yeah, I gotta get the next one to know what happened.
That is always a good feeling.
Yeah. So, you know, this is, like I said, this volume is ending the trilogy that I always intended, and pretty much the way I intended it. Like if anything, I say pretty much because I got to add stuff to it that I fleshed out as I went along, but I certainly didn't have to take anything away from it. Like that was the really cool part about being able to do 21 issues on one series, is that I really got to feel out the whole idea.
That's great. That's what we're doing with. I have it set right now. I haven't plotted it all the way out, but I have Emerald Quest set for a 25 issue run. I went and got LaShawn Colvin, Andrea Smith, and Haley Dennison to help me as editors for the story. I'm still new to the writing game, to the actual writing game of comics. And the Emerald Quest story has a lot of female voices in it, so I wanted to make sure I had enough help capturing those voices and writing the story. So while I have it slated at 25, if the story deems that I need to end it at issue 22 or 19, then I will. But that's the issue budget I've set myself out for.
That's great. I mean, that's a huge undertaking too. Like anything in the double digits in comics is impressive to me. Like once you crack 10, it's like, wow, this is really a lot of comics.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's go with.
I'm loving how this is coming out too. It's fun watching this.
Thank you. I've been doing some. I've been trying not to do like the typical thing or whatever. I've been trying to push myself into different parameters when drawing these pinups for people.
That floppy cop one you did was killer. That was so good.
Well, that guy's incredibly flexible, so there's a lot of opportunity there with him.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely maxed out on the flexibility. Like you had him flopping all over the page. It was great.
Dude, I love drawing.
Were you at the show that I saw you at where you were first looking at Procreate was Wizard Chicago? Were you at the last one, the one that they just did?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, how was that?
It was incredible, man. It was a quieter show. They only had one room this time or whatnot.
Okay.
But I did like 4 panels there. There was a lot of traffic, and the one thing I said about there, they had a lot of people there, so there was a lot of people to pitch to. But there was one group of people there that was there for Outlander, and I'll tell you this: I did not realize how popular the show was. It is incredibly popular, and it's incredibly popular to one market: housewives, because that is all that was there for this. I think it was like
Really?
It was 30 sets of 40 women. So 40 sets of 30, man, just to see this dude. And I would stop them because you could easily tell who they were here to see. Like you could tell them from the traditional convention fan. And I would stop them and I would quiz them and I would ask them, what is it about the show that you guys like? Like I wanted to know, like, is this your first experience with geekdom? Do you watch anything else? And for a lot of them, this was their first experience with geekdom. They don't watch anything else. They don't watch MCU movies. They don't watch any of the shows. They just watch this. And they paid to come out here and see this Sam guy. And apparently he was in another movie. He was in a movie with Vin Diesel called Bloodshot. And apparently the message boards for Bloodshot have nothing for Vin Diesel on it, but just the women talking about Sam and how amazing he was in Vin Diesel's movie.
Wow. He outshone The Diesel.
Yeah, and I didn't realize who he was because I saw that movie and I hated the guy. Like, I didn't hate him because he was a bad actor. I just was like, the dude is just dumb. I don't like the character in the movie, so I disliked him in general. But like, apparently all the women loved him and they went to go see the movie for him.
It's called Outlander. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
It's the one
TV
that
series.
Okay, but the show was Bloodshot. The movie.
The movie's Bloodshot. Outlander but then another woman also told me it's just not about romance. It's a lot of action, a lot of fighting. And I was like, why do you guys love this guy so much? Dude, I had a grandma come over and tell me, she was like, oh, it's his chest, his eyes, his face, all of it. I was like, all right, Granny. And then I had another woman tell me, yes, he is very attractive, but he's like what a lot of women daydream about. He loves so fiercely, and he's so protective of his co-star in the show or whatnot, and just like described all these things about him. I was like, okay, I get it. I understand now.
I think I'm falling in love with him right now.
Right, just off of that description.
That's okay. All right. I guess I gotta check. Do I gotta check this out? Have you watched it?
I have not watched it, but my wife got me into a show called Podark, and I never thought I would have watched that mess. But I watch it with her all the time. It's takes place in like it's the old time when they're traveling by boats and shit. So pilgrims. I don't remember the exact date, but it's a cool show, and I would normally classify it as, oh, this is a show for women, but I like it. I watch it. I cuss it out every week when the villain wins over my man Podark. So I can see myself watching Outlander.
Okay. Should we have a watch party, you and me?
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it.
I think we should have an episode where we just watch that show and react to it.
Yeah, let's just critique it and say, let's see what all the hubbub is about.
Yeah, because I do get critical during shows sometimes. We just watched Halloween Kills.
Dude, let's talk about it. Let's freaking talk about it. Because that trailer is super misleading. And it annoyed me. Because I thought it was going to be Jamie Lee Curtis pretty much versus Michael Myers. And the whole town was her backup.
Mm-hmm.
It was the furthest thing from that.
They benched her.
They benched her completely.
They benched her. And I'm like, they're benching her because it's a trilogy and they're saving that for the third one. And I'm like, what a waste of my time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, it was so heavy-handed. Like, what everything that was really great about the previous one was what I didn't like about this one. It was like the previous one just leaned on the fact that we all love a good Halloween Michael Myers attack, but now you've got Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie being Sarah Connor, and I love that. That was really fun, and I thought that was a good ending. I thought if they would have ended in the last one, the one that we just the previous one, I would have been happy with that. And then I heard that, oh no, it's a trilogy. I'm like, okay. So what more are they gonna say? And it turns out not much to me. Like I was like yelling at the television, and my wife was like, "We're supposed to be enjoying this," and I'm like, "But I can't because this doesn't make any sense. Like this isn't what I and I don't really get too critical. I mean, I try to like give everything its moment to succeed or fail. I was in the middle of the movie just going like, God damn it, this is stupid. What are you doing? Why would you?
You can't go on keep saying evil dies tonight, but no one takes a crack at his head. No one puts a gun to the back of his skull. No one stabs him in his head. No one hit his face at all. And I get it. I get it. It's a movie. It's a horror movie, so there's certain rules, and you just gotta let that shit ride. But who is attacking Michael Myers one at a time? Who does
you don't take turns attacking Michael Myers. You gang up on Michael Myers. And you use everything. Like, I can't believe the firefighters, that whole thing. I'm like, first of all, what firefighters are going to engage this way? Like, this doesn't even make any sense. They're going to they got to call for backup first, and they're not going to be like, let me get out my circular saw, come at this dude. That's a lawsuit.
Like, so the only reason I let that slide is because I know the community knows who Michael Myers is. That's the only reason I let that slide. So when he comes out of the house of fire holding a crowbar, you're like, oh shit, that's Michael Myers. We mount up. And I'm thinking, I know Michael Myers is going to kill the firefighters, but I'm thinking it's going to be an actual fight. Like, I'm thinking like this is the movie where we're going to make. So I didn't know about the trilogy. I did not know about the trilogy. So I just found out that. So I'm thinking Michael Myers is going to die at the end of this movie, but we're going to put him through the chamber. He's going to earn it. It's going to be like a Logan type of death for our villain. And I'm like, I'm here for it. Round one, firefighters. Put them through the ringer, boys. And they got massacred one at a time.
Wasn't even close.
Wasn't even.
I don't understand how when you blast a man with a fire hose, it doesn't send him back right into the fire pit. Like, I know Michael Myers is like this unholy, inhuman dude, but he still is capable of like following the laws of physics where like he would knock his ass back. He was just like, it was like they were hitting him with like a garden hose. I'm like, what? This is ridiculous.
Absolutely. Like I would have expected it to knock him down one or two times before he adjusted himself.
Yes.
And pushed forward. But he just walked through it like it was a sprinkler, like you said. That was crazy.
Doesn't make any sense to me. And
somebody brought up like these are firefighters. These dudes are in shape. They work out. They have to be able to carry people and carry this equipment, and they wear all that equipment, so they have to be strong. It's like ain't nobody get one hit off on them.
No, they were like paper dolls to him. It was ridiculous. I'm gonna throw another thing out there. Who goes into a bar and grabs the mic on a night where everyone's supposed to be having a fun time and brings up the worst tragedy of the entire town? And then let's get a spotlight on those people who were victims. Can you put a spotlight on that lady over there? Yeah, cool. Get her. Oh, she looks a little embarrassed. Oh, let's go to the next one. And they're all for some reason, they're all sitting next to each other. They didn't seem to want to be spotlit, but they were set up to be that. And it was like, this is just bad storytelling, guys. Like, I mean, there had to be a better way to pull that off. And then the evil dies tonight stuff was just driving me nuts. I mean, the mob thing, I guess they were trying to make a point about. I mean, the mob thing could have been cool, but it turned out to be kind of hokey to me.
No, I absolutely agree. It did turn out to be hokey because I'm like, I don't watch scary movies. That's the only reason I watched it. I was like, oh shoot, they're rising up against Michael Myers. They know he's real. They're going for it. Let's go. Like I knew a bunch of people was gonna die, but I thought it was gonna be like fair to some degree or something. Like
not even close.
And
I was listening to a podcast about it actually, the Rewatchables, where they're talking about the first movie, the original one, not this new one, which they also said they thought was a train wreck. But they even said about the first one that there's a lot of things that don't make sense about it. It's not supposed to be completely on point or accurate with how the rules of Michael Myers are, or even the basic rules of like how much gas is it? Like, so first of all, how can Michael Myers drive a car if he's been locked up since he's a child? Like, who taught him in the prison to drive a car? Right. Second, that he's constantly driving, and they looked it up. They're like the distance between the facility he was in and Hattiesburg, Illinois, meant that he had to stop at some point and get gas. Who's giving gas to Michael Myers? Like all these questions. But who cares at that point, because that movie was entertaining. Like they didn't go too far. It's basically he's a babysitter murderer, and he's really good at it, and he's got some sort of weird, almost like fetishistic quality about him, where he's like enjoying watching people have sex, and because Jamie Lee Curtis never has sex in the movie, she lives, but it's super entertaining. This one was like, I don't know, man. I didn't feel. I felt it was way easier. The holes were there to pick apart. Anyway.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. My rule with a movie is, I don't care what your rules are. I don't care what world you're in. it's the director, the actors, and this movie team's job to make me believe in your world, whatever the rules are. And then your movie is supposed to be entertaining. Your movie should be entertaining, so entertaining that if there are plot holes, I don't acknowledge those plot holes. I overlook it. Not even for a moment where I say, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. If I am in your movie for your hour and a half, your 2 hours, your 3 hours, then you've done your job. You've done your job. And that's what a movie's supposed to do for me. Endgame, Infinity War. There's plot holes everywhere. I don't give a damn because they're so entertaining. They're so amazing. I don't care that it doesn't make any sense that the 13 women on the Avengers somehow got to one spot while all the men were on the other side of the map and they rallied together. I don't care because that shit was hard. Because that was dope.
That part always cracks me up because I'm like, you know, I already like all of you. Like, you don't have to prove anything to me. Like, I'm already with you. We don't need to do this, but it's fun to see, you know, I guess for a couple minutes. I'm just like, you know, there's other people here on the field. We can use all of them, right? We can basically, we are trying to save the world here, right? Not have a moment.
See,
you can have the moment later. They can do their own little after party where they're like, "You're not invited, Peter Parker."
Yeah,
this is for the ladies.
But that's the exact thing. The movie's so entertaining that you don't care that that's happening. That you're
right,
like,
exactly.
I'm riding with it. But like Fast and Furious had that for me all the way up until this last movie. Up until Fast 9, I didn't care what they did. I knew the rules of the game was family. They can do whatever they want. And I am a huge fan of the franchise. But Fast and Furious 9 was too much. It was too freaking much. And I don't know if Vin Diesel, you know, just has this thing where he wants to be a superhero. And he just, and I don't know if there's like some unknown competition between him and Rock, but he's not The Rock. He's not going to be The Rock.
He's never going to be The Rock.
Never going to be The Rock. No. You're not Jason Statham. You're not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not working for you, buddy. Find your niche and just stay there.
Yeah, I mean, he's Groot.
He is Groot.
Let him be Groot. Yeah, I don't understand all that. I mean, I guess, you know, egos probably started clashing, I'm sure, on set, but
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you kind of stay in your lane.
What's up, J-Man? What's up, Veronica? J-Man, no, this is episode 179. I know I streamed earlier, but that was just a Kickstarter episode, and I was drawing a comic page. Whenever I do those, that art is not going to be in the Chat and Draw art book.
179 episodes, huh?
Yes, sir.
Wow, you were hustling. Dang. How do you do this, Watson? Is this I mean, this is just like every week, right?
Yeah. I normally do 1 or 2 episodes a week. But this week because I was in the hospital because I got COVID last month and I was in the hospital. I had to push all my episodes back.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. It's just like from time to time I'm coughing because my lungs are still healing. So the doctor told me he doesn't know or he can't tell me when my lungs will heal all the way, but that's the only thing. Like, I don't have COVID anymore. I'm not sick. It's just that because I've been doing an episode every single day. So just the talking and the excitement gets to me. So because my lungs aren't used to that anymore. So
sure.
But that's the only thing. Like, I'm fine outside of that. And you know, it was a crazy little experience, but yeah, I got through it, and I had a lot of support and a lot of good people helping me out there. And you know, my wife was there, so everything was cool.
Good. I'm glad you're all right.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah, it's not, man. I wish more people would take it seriously, but because that happened, I had to push back a ton of my episodes. So I've done an episode every day this week.
Yeah, I saw your schedule for that. That's cool. Yeah, I just got my booster too. That was easy as pie. Just went to CVS and they just I got a booster and I got a coupon with it. It was $5 off 20. So I came out a real winner.
There you go.
Easy peasy.
Yeah, I got my shot. I was asking the doctor how long I had to wait or when I could get it, and I went ahead and got it now. Um, and it's probably because I had COVID, but I didn't get any of the symptoms that people get for like 24 hours or whatnot.
Yeah.
My arm was a little sore, but that was it. So I guess it's just because I already had the antibodies from COVID in my body.
Sure. Yeah. Would you get the Pfizer?
I got the Johnson and Johnson.
Oh yeah, the one and done. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of needles, and I needed to get it because Chicago Wizard World was my first show back on the floor, and I wanted to get something before I went to Chicago, so I didn't want to have to get one shot, go to Chicago, and come back and get another shot.
Right. Right. Yeah. I even know people who've gotten the shot and then got COVID in between the first and second shot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it can still happen.
Oh yeah, it can happen for sure. But like, I'm sure if I had this, and I wasn't against the shot. I'm just lazy. I don't like leaving my house, and I was like, I'll get it eventually. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not moving anywhere today. I'm eating Jersey Mike's, so I'm not moving. But so I would have got it, but if I would have got it beforehand, it would not have been severe. It wouldn't have been as bad for me because like nobody, my whole family got it, but they all got super mild versions of it, and I was the last one to get it. But I also have I have a recurring chronic cough that I get every year when when it changes from fall to Christmas or fall to winter. I get it every year, and I guess because I have that, it really messed up my lungs.
Yeah, anyone who's got bronchial issues, I've noticed, tends to have that kind of thing happen to them. Like, one of my relatives got COVID, and it hit him harder because he's always had bronchial stuff. So, yeah, I'm glad you're all right, or at least on the mend.
Oh yeah. I mean, we went to Chicago, and like I said, I'm still getting used to my breath is shorter when I talk and do stuff, so I've got to pace myself. And normally on Chat and Draw, I can pace myself because I do the show for like 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. But last night I do a podcast where we talk about geek stuff, and so last night, everybody was fucking funny. Everybody on the show was funny. The chat was saying funny stuff, and I just could not stop laughing, and I kept coughing. I had to mute the screen. I had to mute my mic so I could just catch up with myself. But it was a lot of laughter last night.
That's fun. Yeah, that's a good time. I know, right now there's a couple shows happening too, right? Cons.
Yeah, Cherry Capital's happening this weekend.
Yeah, normally I would go to that. Today's my wife's birthday actually, so I was like, I'm not gonna miss that. And then Halloween and our first Halloween at our new house. I was like, it's kind of special. I probably should be here for this. But yeah, miss those guys. Those guys are fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to go to Cherry Capital, but so as everybody knows, I like to do a lot of stuff, and I've had to pace myself. So I went to Wizard World Chicago. We went on Thursday, drove to that show. Then we drove back 7 hours. I had to wait. I got home and had to change my bag for 45 minutes, and then got back on a plane and went to California for my job. And I was there till Thursday. So I was gone a week-to-week thing. And I was supposed to go to Baltimore. And I was like, no, I can't do it. Because I was going to Baltimore by myself. That's a 9-hour drive for me. Then go to the show. And the show was a different experience because I'm trying to get used to my new, trying to heal and breathe right or whatever. So everything that I normally do at a show, I had to cut in half. So I couldn't go as hard as I normally go. But I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I don't want to back out of Baltimore, but I got to sit down. And then also my wife is at home with 4 kids for over a week by herself. I was like, hey, yeah, I can't dip out again. She needs some time.
That's kind of what I was talking about, picking those battles. It's not that it's a battle necessarily, but it's I got to weigh the costs and the benefit on some of these now.
Absolutely.
We have the 2 kids, and it's a lot. There's a lot you got to take care of, and I'd rather make sure that my base is covered first at home before going. But I will do by the end of the year 8 shows, so that felt pretty good. Like that, I can live with 8 shows.
J-Man, you watching this at the grocery store? That's what's up. That's dedication right there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, J-Man has watched all 179 episodes of the show.
Dang. Why? I'm just kidding.
It's funny because the show got created during COVID because of COVID, and he watched it because his mom had COVID, and he had to stay at home with her for 2 weeks and take care of her. And he got one of his friends had bought my books at a show and showed him the books. It was like, oh yeah, man, this Hot Shot book is cool. So he went to our page, liked it, but never did anything else with it. And then he got the alert that I was live, and he's been tuned in ever since then.
That's funny how that works out. That's really cool. It's really cool. So yeah, this started with COVID, huh? Because I know that when we did Floppy Cap, that was that was earlier in this year. I think it was like February, maybe.
I believe so.
I think it was during the campaign. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was super fun. I'm sitting here working on Touching Evil as well right now while you're doing that.
Oh, that's what's up.
I got my iPad. I figured I'd join you.
Hey, I love it. I love it. So, if you want to hook it up, we can share your screen too.
I don't want to spoil anything. This is kind of a spoilery page.
I get that.
I would, but this is a tough one. It's basically the end of issue 19. So, yeah, it gets really intense in the final volume. It's always intense, but like the third one really deals with the fallout of the second one, like in some very crazy ways. And yeah, if I show you this, I think it would give some stuff away, including like who lived and who died.
All right, well, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that to you.
We're going to do these inks now.
I'm digging it. So how many layers do you typically use when you're doing your stuff? I notice you kind of do like a couple pencil layers, right? Different color?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It just depends on the piece. But I'm probably doing, I don't know, between 10 and 15 layers.
Okay. Yeah, that looks about right. I mean, the amount of stuff I've been seeing you doing, I feel like you've got at least like 5 layers going.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was 6 layers of sketching, and then I condensed all that down to 1 so I can start inking.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually, like I set my pages lately, it's like 11 by 17, and then it's 400 DPI, so I get 13 layers max.
Okay.
And I tend to use a lot of them at first, and then I start compressing them down, because I'll use I'll throw references up there, as a layer. Even though I could use the actual reference thing now, it's like sometimes that's kind of harder, right?
Yeah.
At least with my model of the iPad, I feel like maybe the newer ones are a little more streamlined or smooth with that. But sometimes I'll have the reference thing up, and it delays a little bit.
No, I haven't figured out a way to do that, to have the reference up at the same time. I mean, the screen is still only so big. So I haven't figured out a way to make that work myself.
Yeah, kind of, and not to, I mean, I love Procreate, don't get me wrong, but I do kind of wish that they would let you use the area outside of your canvas to just drop stuff and let it sit there, almost like if it was like an actual drawing table, like a tangible space.
Yeah.
Because then because then I end up having like a bunch of references that I tack into a layer that I keep popping open and closed. Or I'll just have my computer screen next to me and have that on with whatever references I need. And that's like, I feel like that's only good if I'm at home. I can't do that on the road.
Right. Well, I definitely do appreciate seeing you work on the book, on your comic on the road. It has definitely helped me. So I mean, my iPad goes wherever I go.
Yeah, it's just it was a game changer. That whole and whatever you end up using, right? Like there's other tablets that I see people using that are good. Some people like Clip Studio more or whatever, but like just the ability to just do that stuff. I mean, I wouldn't have all these issues out if it wasn't for that.
Right. Like it's been I mean, this will be the quickest I've ever brought out another issue of Hot Shot because we dropped Hot Shot. Like people got Hot Shot with the Kickstarter 2 months ago, and now we're giving them Hot Shot again in December. So it's the quickest I've ever been able to turn around an issue.
That's awesome. What are you up to with Hot Shot now? Like, what issue?
We're on issue 11.
Okay, I think I got up to I want to say 9. There was that one time you did one where you can get like a bundle of them at once, and I got a bundle.
Yeah, you're up to 9. You got that one because you did the
9,
one page
right?
pinup for us.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's really fun stuff. I dig it. So you're working on 11 right now.
I'm working on technically it's the 12th issue because we have a 0 issue.
Okay. But you're on like okay.
But yeah, that's the issue number I'm working on right now. 11.
Cool. Tell me again. What is this new thing you're doing so that before I forget? That's the thing. Actually, I want to bring this up with you too. It's tough to get visibility on Kickstarters now, I feel like.
It is.
Right?
I think
like,
yeah.
I am surprised at how many people like didn't know about the floppy cop one. People that are close to me, like not like a casual fan, but like actual like friends or family members who wanted to back that one and going like, I never even saw that you posted about it. I'm like, I did nothing but post about it. Like I talked about it for 30 days and you didn't see it. And like, feels almost like a conspiracy. Like I'm like, what's going on here? Why can't I reach the people the same way I used to?
Nah, man, I absolutely agree. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Facebook and Instagram trying to make it so you have to pay for their advertisement. Like I went on TikTok and I put up a video of my art and then I put up a goofy video. And like I normally get about 300 or 400 on average views on them. Got that. And then the moment I put up a video for the Kickstarter for Emerald Quest, 10 views. Then I did another regular video, 300 views, 200 views. Did another Kickstarter interview, 6 views. I'm like, what the hell? Like I have almost 1,000 people following me. And you're telling me only 10 people looked at this? Only came across 10 people?
Yeah. I'll be honest too. Like, and I don't know, my campaign, and to be fair, first of all, I'm not blaming this on Kickstarter at all. I'm blaming this more on social media.
Mm-hmm.
My previous campaigns, I had like 300 and something backers each time, like 320 or 340, somewhere around there. And to be honest, I was like a little bit bummed about some of those numbers sometimes when I looked at comparable numbers from other people that I thought were like sort of in my range. But I'm like, okay, that's cool. At least I got that much, and these people are really coming and stepping up and like making sure this thing happens, and they're awesome, right? But this time, I'm at 234 backers with 6 days to go, and I'm wondering like, where's that other like 100 people that I know would show up? Like, it's not, and I'm not blaming them either. I'm like, I don't think they know about it.
Yeah.
I think they legitimately, at least some of them, like a good percentage of them, are not hearing the stuff I'm throwing out there, and that is more of a reflection on the the avenue I'm sending it out than on my people, because like I said with the floppy cap thing, like after the campaign was over, I had people ordering the book because they saw it like pop up on my website. They're like, man, why didn't you tell me this was coming out? I'm like, I've been saying it the whole time. You didn't hear it? And they're like, nope, not at all.
I barely get any of your posts.
That's nuts.
And the only reason I knew that you were doing this is because you messaged me and asked to be on the show.
Yeah. And like, we're not like casual acquaintances. Like we're both in the same industry.
Yeah.
We're both friends. We're both stunningly good looking, and and we both have been kind of coming up at the same time. Like there really should be like a no-brainer. Like I didn't know you were doing this until you.
I should absolutely have been getting your stuff in my thing, because like as soon as I see, like especially people I'm a fan of, as soon as I see that they're doing a Kickstarter, I immediately connect the bridge. Like, hey, when can we get you on the show?
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like I don't understand it, and I do think that it's deliberate. So say what you will, I have no idea, but I just feel like that's the thing I've noticed about this particular time. And you know what it made me think too is like, if that's the case, why am I on social media? Like if I'm not actually connecting the way I thought I was or how I used to, maybe what I'm going to do after this campaign's over on November 5th, I'm going to take a break from social media for like a month. I think I got to take it. I'm just really tired of kind of sick of how much energy it takes out of me versus how much I get back from it. But that's just me.
Yeah, because and I know I didn't do half the advertisement that I've done on Hotshot. I know Hotshot's more well known for me as a creator than Emerald Quest. It's a new title, but we did $11,000, almost $12,000 on Hotshot. We did almost $4,000 the first day, and the budget for this is much smaller. We did $3 grand, but we're sitting at 25 right now, and it's been going on for 8 days. No, hold on. It's been going on for 7 days, and we're at 2,400. Like, what's the difference? Weird. And like, I'm always on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Whether it's pledging or creating a campaign, I'm very active in social media. So
you're more active than me. You're definitely more active than me, and I don't see some of your stuff unless I'm seeking you out. Like I was like, man, I got to reach out to Watson and see about getting on the show. That's the first time I'd seen anything that you were up to. Like, and I didn't even see the Kickstarter. I just saw that you were like making other stuff or making new episodes and new content, but it never pops up on my normal feed.
Yes, I don't know what that is, man. It's crazy.
So here's what I'm wondering. If I do leave social media for a month, right? I might just schedule some posts and then peace out for a month, and I'm going to delete the apps off my phone. And I'm just going to maybe check in if I need to do something work related. Like if there's some reason for me to go on there that is like, got to be addressed. But for the most part, in the dark for a month. I wonder if it will do anything to whatever algorithm they have set on my account.
Yeah, like what if it kind of resets you?
Yeah. Is that possible, you think? Like, can I get rebooted? Can you reboot me?
It might happen. I mean, if they realize, or the great internet gods, realize your same activity isn't the same.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're always watching.
Right. I mean, we all like to believe that they're specifically focusing on you, right? Like, yeah. Like, Dougherty's out. What's going on? Get a team on it. Get your best and brightest. That's probably not going to happen. But I sure would like to see if it does do anything different. I'd be very curious to see that. I'm going to start my own. I'm going to call it Meta, unless they've done that before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't understand the whole Meta thing, but
I don't either. I guess it's like Google is their whatever their main company is actually called Alphabet, I think. So it's like, I guess maybe some sort of separation. I don't know. If we know it's Meta, we know that that's also Facebook. Then what's the difference? Like, it's not like you're rebranding it like it was drugs. Like let's rename this heroin. Like it's Facebook. We still know it's Facebook.
Right. So like, what are we doing here at the end of the day?
Yeah, I don't know. Watson.
J-Man, sometimes that stuff happens because now that you say that, I see exactly what you're talking about, and I've seen Pan's Labyrinth. So this image has probably been floating in my head, and I've just kind of drawn it to the top of my memory without realizing that's where I got it from.
I'm cool with it. I think it's great.
Thank you. But yeah, man, I really try hard not to, some of the images on here, they just have to go full comic book, hero versus hero, villain versus villain, whatever. But when I get a story like this, I really do want to try to come up with something different for the artwork.
Yeah, to be honest, I've done variations on this pose too. I mean, it's just a fun when you got something like this where it's like touching evil. It's like, and that reach is actually the most important thing. It's been done, but it doesn't mean that it's not perfect for the story right now. I think this is a really cool pinup. So do you have shows coming up for the year end?
Nope. I just got we're just doing FSK Day on December 4th. That's our own event down here in at a comic book shop called Comic Town.
Okay.
So that's how we're gonna close out our year.
That's really cool.
But we're looking like I got my table for Gem City already. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting at the wall as soon as they open up New York again. We're gonna as long as it's not crazy, I'm gonna get a small press table at New York. Get back on at Baltimore because Baltimore is a good show. So we're about to start trying to get the shows early this year.
That's cool. Yeah, I want to do Baltimore. I've never done it, but I always hear great things about it. I've just got I've got Grand Rapids Comic Con next, and then I think it's Seattle and C2E2. I think it's that order. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Seattle first, Emerald City, and then directly the following weekend is C2E2. And that's it for the year. That's the 8 shows.
Yeah, I dig it. So we also want to get into C2E2. I just got to stop applying there. I always apply late. Trying to do all this stuff is a lot of work, as you know. And then you lose track of things.
Oh yeah, I had to start leaving myself notes like you have to apply to this, because like your inbox just gets filled with different random stuff, and pretty soon you're like, there was something I was supposed to do, but what was it? I can't quite recall. Oh yeah, apply to C2E2. Yeah,
you got to apply early in there because that's a curated show, so it's not just a matter of buying the table.
Yeah, no, there was one year I remember I was at Wizard World actually, and people were getting the notifications on their phones that they got accepted into Emerald City, and then I went to look at my phone, and as I was doing that, I realized, oh shoot, I never applied. In my mind, I thought I had, and then I hadn't, so I missed out on that year. It was not fun. I don't want that FOMO life. I want to feel like I'm part of everything.
I dig it. I dig that. But this show has been absolutely fun doing this, and I feel like it's been great practice for me and this digital art thing.
Oh, sure. When you know what's cool about what you're doing is like you're going in cold on a bunch of people's IP, right? Like you kind of go, okay, give me the prompts, give me the thing. I may or may not know what this is, but I'm going to try to just on the spot do something. That's a great way to get your chops like really sharp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I did one yesterday. I had no idea what it was, and it was a crossover print with my character and somebody else's character. And I started over like 2 or 3 times before I finally settled on something. But that notion of just working it out live on the show is a lot of pressure. but it's like that in demand pressure, so I dig it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun that way. I want to maybe revisit this once I'm calmed down from finishing up Touching Evil, because that's been dominating a lot of my workday, is that or any jobs I've got to do. But I was on, get the name of the show, but I was on a show for a while. Like I was doing a couple weeks in a row where you just come on and just do something. You just draw whatever, and I usually would ask for a prompt, and by the end of the 2 hours, I'd be done with it. And it was cool. It was kind of fun interacting with people that way and getting them chiming in and all the feedback and whatnot. But it made me think on my feet a lot more.
Yeah. And there are a couple shows where I will sketch it out before I go to the show, and that's normally when I have like 2 or more characters in it. And I want to make the best uses of the time or whatnot. But for the most part, I do come in pretty cold on a lot of these.
Yeah. No, it's cool that way. What else is fun is doing those 24-hour comic challenges. Those are always fun too.
Yeah, I've yet to do one of those yet. I think the longest I've gone is like I've done a 12-hour stream.
Wow. That's cool though. I mean, 12. So I've technically not done it the right way, but I did do a 24-page comic improvised in 24 hours. I just didn't do it consecutively.
Okay.
And I don't know if that disqualifies me, but it was super fun. I mean, it's actually one of the most fun comics I've ever made because it was completely nonsensical and goofy, and it was really good for my inking, like kind of like just learning to just ink and make decisions on the fly and not think so much about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what doing stuff like this does for you. It puts you in these situations where you got to figure out how to do stuff within a time limit, and it forces you to open up your brain to new things.
Yeah, you just have to you have to just roll with it, basically.
Right. Like yesterday's show was the first time, because I've never done it. I don't know why I haven't or why I've been against it, but I never have flipped my artwork to test if it looks right the other way.
Oh, how did that go for you?
It went good. I'm like, I see why everybody does this now. What have I been doing for 40 years?
Yep. There's times you're like, oh, geez, my head is slanting completely to the left. It's like, yikes.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good thing to do. And it's actually, it's way easier to do in a digital platform where you could just hit the reflect button or the transform button, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But it helped out a ton. So obviously that's something that I'm going to be doing more often now. But, I did it yesterday because I was like, man, let me try this out. Because number one, I don't know I have a certain side that I do like to draw on.
Right.
When I'm drawing faces and profiles.
Right. But then you actually you get kind of comfortable with certain patterns or habits, and then that pretty soon that turns into that thing that when you reflect it doesn't necessarily look right.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. I always had to do the whole thing where like I would forget that I'm drawing at an angle. Like I'd have to angle my table up or angle the iPad up. Because when you actually look at it straight on and you realize like the top of it's drawn way bigger because you thought you were closer to it than you were.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, I've been guilty of that too. It's funny. It's like I keep relearning the same lesson. It's like, I thought I've had this figured out, but I'm still making the same mistakes. Whatever. Those guys in the 90s, if you flip their stuff, it would be a mess too.
Absolutely.
I'm sure McFarlane Spider-Man was not always on point, but it was cool. So I know we're probably getting close to the end of your show, but I just wanted to mention to people because I saw you posted the link again.
Yeah.
I should have mentioned this. There's really cool add-on stuff. If you are like new to the show or the series, you can get the whole series. But people who might be familiar with it, but possibly are hearing it for the first time here, there's actually a lot of cool bonus stuff that you can get, including a slipcase for all 3 volumes. That's the like every campaign I try to add like one thing that's like, you know, a little extra for people who are really into Touching Evil. Last time it was a tarot deck, which is actually available in the campaign. There's a full Touching Evil tarot deck in there. But this time it's a slipcase that collects all 3 volumes. So like, actually got like, this is volume 1 and volume 2. The 3rd volume would be of equal size, and they all pop in there together and make a nice display piece. And then also, we've unlocked 4 stretch goals at this point. So, yeah, for anyone who's keeping score, that means that you now get digital wallpaper of Touching Evil. You get your book signed. You get a foil embossed cover now if you actually have a backer copy. So that way that'll distinguish it from the regular copies. And then a bookmark. And then if we hit 20K, we're going to get a vinyl sticker for everybody too. Just bonus free stuff that everybody gets for being a physical backer of the campaign. I'm hoping, I don't know, we're 6 days left, and I feel like I'm in that weird spot of the campaign where you're not sure like what that final push is going to look like, but I'm hoping we can maybe unlock the ones where there's like new comics content, because like if we get to in the 20s, there's a bonus Touching Evil story that people can get at first as a PDF, and then if we unlock it further, you get an actual physical version of it. And then if we get bonkers crazy with it at the end, there's Touching Evil Beardo Floppy Cop crossover comic I want to do. So that is my dream goal of the whole thing, because I did one in the past. The first campaign I did one with, it was called Touching Beardo, and it was Beardo meets Ada from Touching Evil, and it was one of my favorite things I did. It was very funny, very fun, and now introducing Floppy Cop into the mix would be my dream come true. Like just, and Seth would actually draw it too. Seth is I'm gonna wrangle Seth into drawing the floppy parts of it, but I would draw the other parts.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I hope we can get to it. Like even if it's at the PDF level, I'd be happy just to be able to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6 days left in the campaign. Anything can happen. Who knows? We could potentially unlock all that stuff.
Well, this piece is done for you, sir.
Dude. Oh, I love it. I love that the slight blur effect too. The focus effect.
Thank you. Thought it was perfect to focus on the hand.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I saved additional layer down there of just the ink, so it's not blurred in case you want to get it colored or whatnot.
Yeah, I might actually. I know what I'm definitely going to do is post it up on my updates for the Kickstarter and on my social media. Yeah, send that to me because that's amazing.
Thank you. Well, I want to thank Dan for coming out here on the show. Guys, go over there and support his Kickstarter. You know my rules, and I say them all the time. If you want something to Kickstarter, then obviously find your pledge level, pledge for it. That is awesome. If money's a little tight and it's hard to come up with, a dollar amount, even just giving us $1 is appreciated. We're not going to turn away $1. We're not going to snub our nose at it. Dollars stack up, and it's more important that we get you on the Kickstarter as a pledger. But if you can't donate anything at all because of times being so hard, I completely understand. We get that. We've been there, so we get it. Give us a share. Advocate for us. That's really how our worlds are going to get open to new people, is by everyone else sharing our stuff. So if you can do any of those things, it'd be much appreciated. I want to thank the chat and everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us. J-Man, your streak continues. What's that? Hey, Brad, they're great popcorn movies, man. They're just excellent popcorn. And I met you in the middle. I don't like the new one. The ninth one sucks. It's terrible. I mean, it's give and take, man. Give and take. But I will be back on here a little bit later. I'm gonna take a little intermission after this one. I'm gonna come back on and we're gonna draw another page of Hot Shot, and I will reveal some more information about Emerald Quest as the day comes on. The goal to get 2 more pages done is my objective today, and Hot Shot 11 will be complete. So awesome, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'll get this over to you. I'll get you the video of the drawing too as well.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it.
No problem at all, everybody. So I'll catch some of you guys later on tonight, hopefully all of you. And our next episode of Chat and Draw, I have it on the schedule. I'll tell you, I'm always coming online, so you guys will get it. You'll see it. It's there. Later.